coming up on this program. Ghana celebrates its 67th Independence Day under the theme Our Democracy, Our Pride. How far have we come as a country? We'll bring you some quick analysis. Also, sanction the Speaker and MPs in Parliament for passing the anti-LGBTQ bill. Renowned economist Kwame Pianim charges Ghana's international partners, including the United States of America, as the controversies surrounding the passage of the bill intensify. We'll bring you some other stories from across the country. Do stay with us. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, Ghana is marking its 67th anniversary with parades across the country. The event is under the theme, Our Democracy, Our Pride. Ghana became the first African country in the sub-region to attain its independence from Britain in 1957. Contingencies from the security services and students are partaking in parades across the country as part of the commemoration. The national event is taking place in Koforidua in the Eastern region. The special guest of honor for the occasion is the president of Cote d'Ivoire, Alhassan Ouattara. My colleague Yvonne Nekwe is there. She joins us live. Yvonne, I know we've been watching a bit of what's happening on our screens, but can you tell us really, you being there, what has been happening in addition to what we've seen?
Okay, so beyond what you're seeing inside beautifully, outside there are several hundreds of residents who are unable to get access to the place because the place is fully packed. The disappointment in their faces is not being part of this historic moment for them, especially in this region where it's the first time they're organizing the independence parade here. Of course, there is been provision of a screen outside, but of course, for them, it's not really about watching it on a screen, but being on the field and having a feel of it. So that has been the not too good eyesight of the plan. Beyond that, it's been a beautiful event in there, seeing the display from the military and the cultural display with the students and special cycle institutions who have been marching over the day. But yes, this has been what is happening. People enduring the sporting sound with umbrellas and all of that, just to have a feel of what is happening inside.
All right. I know you've also been monitoring a bit of what's happening outside. Can you tell us how things are panning out around as well?
Well, around in here, I must say that security has been okay. At every point, we're seeing the military and the personnel from the police walking in every stretch of the way, ensuring that there is adequate security. Unfortunately, just about one or two people having been picked of their wallets. Of course, these are things you would expect in crowded moments like this. But beyond that, people are still here until the event, until today's event ends for the evening concert to go on.
Yvonne, before you go, I can imagine the reaction of residents of Koforidua to this event coming to their doorsteps, as it were. Can you tell us that?
Well, they've been very, very excited at having the event here, especially when the president is coming from this reading and having his last show, if you might call it, for the reading. A very good partaking gift for them, having it in Koforidua for them. Very, very much excited, especially for the hype for the entire way, getting everybody to understand exactly what it means to be here. So children beyond all of the ages, the elderly, everybody being here, wanting to be part of the event, because of course, after today, they might not know when again they might have a feel of this display from everybody who has been here.
Thank you very much, Yvonne Nekweda. She's our correspondent from the Eastern region, bringing us updates of the celebrations. Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress has affirmed its dedication to constructing the Ghana envisioned by the country's founding leaders. In a statement extending congratulations to Ghanaians on the occasion of the nation's 67th Independence Day, the party expressed its commitment to implementing policies aimed at generating employment, fostering economic growth and enhancing the well-being of the citizenry. The party asserted that it will exert relentless effort to instill hope and confidence in the future of the country. Grace Hammond joins me in the studio with some more of that statement. Grace, looking all dressed up for the Independence Day. Grace, what can you tell us about the statement?
Yeah, so, Beatrice, this one is coming from the flag bearer of their party, John Mahama, and he starts his statement by making a call on all Ghanaians to reflect on their common destiny we share as a people, and also avoid any tribulations of economic hardship, uncertainty, and a crisis of leadership. He goes on to say that as we commemorate the anniversary of our independence, he's inviting all Ghanaians to acknowledge the struggles that have shaped our lives and our dear country, Ghana. He calls on Ghanaians to remember the inspiration and visionary leaders who kindled in our hearts the flame of hope for a better Ghana, and the sacrifices of our forefathers led by Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who enabled us to embrace and embody the theme for today's celebration, our democracy, our pride. John Mahama goes ahead to say that he cannot congratulate Ghana and turn a deaf ear to the fact that there are some economic crises or some economic challenges that the country is going through. He mentions youth unemployment. He mentions the fact that a number of the youth in the country are trooping out of Ghana in search of better opportunities, and also rampant corruption that have riddled the country and making people poorer and poorer, and the fact that the country is unable to pay our debt. He says that with the right leadership and the right people in authority, our nation deserves quality leadership, better governance and accountability, and a strong economy that creates opportunities for all and not just a few. So that the last but one sentence in the statement says, we must make progress and build a better society for ourselves. We must hold on to hope, determination, and a collective will to overcome and build the Ghana we want for ourselves and future generations. John Mahama ends by saying, with the right leadership, we shall turn our fortunes around and put Ghana back on track as a black star of Africa, as envisioned by those who sacrificed their lives to give us this precious gift of freedom. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you very much, Grace Hammond, bringing us details of that statement issued by the flag bearer of the opposition NDC, John Mahama. Let me remind you that on our screens we can see some cultural displays. The president, his wife, and other dignitaries are waiting, and of course the nation waiting for the president to hear what he has to say. But ahead of that, I'm joined by Dr. Kwesi Amache Boateng. He's senior lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He joins us live on the phone. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us, and happy Independence Day.
Thank you for having me, and happy Independence Day to you and your viewers and listeners.
I know you've also been studying the country's history. You witness what happens in the country as well. 67 years on, any lessons?
Well, thanks for the opportunity, and let me say that definitely Ghana has gone through a lot, but definitely we have got some lessons. We've managed to get some things right. Our politics is doing well currently. And so it's something that we should mention and acknowledge and celebrate. You know, in talking about development generally, what countries seek to do is to simply bring about improvement in the conditions of life of their people. And it includes political development, creating an environment that will enable the citizens to actively participate in the politics of their country. And on the basis of that, also try to build, a good economic condition for themselves. So we've got lessons learned. The economic challenges are still here with us. And I did hear you, someone from your studio read out something attributable to former President Mahama. The challenge is the economy. And if you go into the development literature, the argument has always been that, states need effective leadership to bring about this economic turnaround. So yes, lessons have been learned. A good number of leaders have come and gone. The economic challenges are still here with us. The problem of political corruption is also soaring. So yes, Ghana continues to be in search for this, sort of elusive individual, someone who will selflessly lead the country to bring about economic progress, sustain economic development, and sustain economic growth and social development for all of us.
I hear you say that Ghana is in search of leaders who are selfless. You think that over the years we haven't had such leaders aside from those who were passionate about we getting independence and indeed developing our country moving forward?
A few have come, through. We can specifically make mention of, the great Kwame Nkrumah. And I personally believe that former President Joe Rawlings also left a legacy. It is his hard work and selflessness that has left us with this political development that also eluded Ghana from independence. You realize that it's only the Fourth Republic that Ghana's politics are stabilized. And this did not just come about, Someone had to work on it. So yes, we're still looking for one who will lead us to go through the economic challenge. But then others have come and gone, and we have got what we have on our hands, this, political aspects of the country's development.
What would be your recommendations moving forward in about 30 seconds?
I think Ghanaians have everything, cut out for them. A democratic governance enables all of us to take a serious look at this and decide on who should lead us. And interestingly and coincidentally, we are in an election year. So it's an opportunity for Ghanaians to actually take a look at what has happened over the years, the rhetorics and people who came to, take us through blatant lies. And now they are all exposed. So I think going forward...
Ghanaians should choose right. That's what you're saying?
Just that.
We'll end it here. Thank you very much, Dr. Kwesi Amache Boateng. He's Senior Lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in the Ashanti region. Thank you for speaking to us now. Senior statesman and economist Kwame Pianim has appealed to the United States government and other foreign partners not to place sanctions on Ghana over the LGBTQ plus bill. His comment followed an advisory by the Finance Ministry urging President Akufo-Addo not to assent to the anti-gay bill into law. The ministry says that the country risks losing a whopping $3.8 billion counterpart funding if the controversial bill becomes law. But Mr. Pianim says the advice is not only misplaced but also exposes the incompetences of the finance minister.
I think that if this document is really true, it shows how incompetent our administration is. It's really shambolic. Where was the Ministry of Finance when this bill was being discussed? Normally, when a bill is being discussed in Parliament, bills normally come from the government. A cabinet minister will take a document to Parliament, convince his colleagues that we want to pass this act. Then it goes to Parliament. And then these type of things, you do the document to Cabinet. The Minister of Finance should have done this document to Cabinet, to the President, and to the relevant committees of Parliament that were discussing it, to see these are the financial implications of this bill. That's how it is done. And then, if the President is up to scratch and is doing his job, then the President will hold a breakfast meeting, invite the parliamentary leaders, and say, this is where the national interest is. This is the geopolitical implications of this, and therefore think twice before you move ahead. That's what is done. You don't wait for this to be done, and then you disgrace the whole nation by saying, oh, if we don't sign on to this bill, we are going to lose $3 billion. Ghana, since independence, has been the black star of Africa. We are the weather vane. Other African countries take their lead from us. Are we telling them that we are prepared to throw aside national pride, national culture, if indeed it is so, because of money.
Mr. Pianim says that if sanctions should be applied at all, it should be targeted at the Speaker of Parliament, the prompters of the bill, and Parliament as a whole.
My appeal to the US and the other countries who feel very strongly about LGBTQ rights as human rights and so forth is that they should not use this blunt instrument of sanctioning the whole country. They should put sanctions on the Speaker of Parliament, those who move the bill, and if our whole Parliament agrees with the 275 of them, put sanctions on them, and leave the Ghana economy alone. This is not a referendum that has been passed by the people of Ghana. We are already suffering. Don't add any sanctions to it. Sanction the people who are doing this. And if these people make our problem worse, all of us Ghanaians should consider seriously that this 8th Parliament or the 4th Republic, the administration, none of them should receive their S. Gracia awards.
And you heard renowned economist Kwame Pianim there speaking to us earlier. He's also been talking about whether or not he was contacted before the campaign team of Dr. Bawumia put his name on it, that he was going to be an advisor to the committee Dr. Bawumia has put together. And we're bringing you more of that later. But ahead of that, the issue of teenage pregnancy remains a challenge despite the numerous interventions to curb the menace in Ghana. The problem is more pronounced in rural Ghana. That's according to the Statistical Service. Its zonal and final dissemination of the 2022 Ghana Demographic and Health Survey reports that 26% of teenage girls between the ages of 15 and 19 in the Savannah region got pregnant in 2022, as against 6% of the same age bracket of girls getting pregnant in the Greater Accra region. In 2020, the Ghana Health Service reported that nearly 301 girls get pregnant every day in the country, while 13 teenage pregnancies are recorded every 1 hour. Over 109,000 teen pregnancies were recorded same year, with the Ashanti region topping the chart. 2 years later, the Savannah region has taken the mantle, recording 26% of all teenage pregnancy cases recorded in the year 2022. And we'll bring you more on this later. And we're trying to get some analysts on this to speak on this. You're still here on the Midday News, the abridged version on 3FM. My name is Beatrice Adu. Our top story is Ghana celebrates its 67th Independence Day under the theme Democracy, Our Pride. How far have we come? We brought you some analysis. Let's bring you some more on the story about teenage pregnancy. And I'm joined by George Agbenyo, the Northern Regional Statistician, who has some more for us. Good afternoon to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Hello?
Yes.
Mr. Agbenyo, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
You are welcome.
We've just, and happy Independence Day to you. We've just read some statistics out there, alarming statistics as regards teenage pregnancy. Can you tell us what the situation is like in the northern part of the country?
Thank you. Teenage pregnancy is a troubling issue, especially in the northern part of Ghana. Looking at the recently released the Demographic and Health Survey report, we have Savannah region having the highest, that is 26% of teenage pregnancy. When we say teenage pregnancy, that is female between 15 to 19 years who ever had a pregnancy event. So Savannah is the highest with 26%. And then Northeast with Ashanti having 24% in the second highest position.
What's contributing to these figures we are getting?
This could be a number of factors. You cannot put or equate it to one particular fact. But if you ask my opinion, I would say, one, if you are able to put your girl child in education and keep the girl child in education, few will come out with a pregnancy at an age that you, the parents, will not want. And then the access to reproductive health education and right is also an issue. That is a very delicate topic that many parents fear to tackle. And then, of course, the religious issue could also be another factor. Thank you.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you very much. And that was George Agbenyo. He's a Northern Regional Statistician bringing us details as regards teenage pregnancy in the northern parts of the country. And that's how we end the abridged version of the news here on 3FM. My name is Beatrice Adu. Log on to srenews.com for more news. Have a good afternoon and happy Independence Day.
FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio.